Hello, everyone. Chrissy Etheridge, the oilist here. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to log into the room before we get started. While we wait, I'll do some quick introductions about myself. Like I said, my name is Chrissy Etheridge. I am a family nurse practitioner. I have been in healthcare for 13 years. First started out as a registered nurse for 9 years, working in multiple areas in the hospital. I now have been practicing as a family nurse practitioner in multiple emergency rooms for the last 3, going on 4 years. I'm also a mother of 5, all adult children now. My last one turned 18 this week. Also a grandmother of 4 children and a wife of 21 years. So that's a little bit about me. I started doTERRA, or using doTERRA, about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I was, maybe 4 now. I was in my nurse practitioner degree or program and started learning about holistic nursing, holistic medicine. And perfect timing occurred where I was invited to an Essential Oils 101 class with a colleague. And while I was there, I ordered and started buying essential oils with doTERRA. Prior to that, I had been buying oils from other companies because I really didn't know the right way to buy oils. But through doTERRA, I was able to learn kind of a better way, and we'll go through that tonight. At the beginning of mid to beginning of 2017, I actually jumped headfirst into the business side of doTERRA, which is what I'll be going over with you tonight. So I would really encourage you. This is about an hour-long webinar. I'm going to try to stay to the point. I'm going to try to keep it concise. And then afterwards, there should be an email where you can ask me specific questions. If not, it's theoilist1@gmail.com. So TheOilest1@gmail.com. That way I can just stay on track with the webinar, and we can get through this, and then afterwards I can answer any particular questions that you might have. Okay, so let's get started. My goal with this presentation are 5 different things. I want to educate you on what essential oils are. Some people might not be familiar with what essential oils are when they're looking at the business opportunity, and that's totally fine. We're going to go over kind of a quick and concise, down and dirty about what oils are. I want to educate you on how to use essential oils. I want to educate you on why specifically doTERRA essential oils, how to purchase doTERRA oils, and how to supplement or replace your income with the business model. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. So very first thing, I want to show you a short video on what essential oils are in the first place, and then I will meet you in just a minute, and we will kind of go over what all that means. So hold tight, this is about 2 minutes.
There are no wasted efforts in nature. The fragrance of a flower, the smell of an orange, or the scent of a pine tree all serve specific purposes vital to a plant's survival. What our senses perceive as fragrances or scents are actually volatile aromatic compounds, tiny organic molecules that serve a variety of protective, reproductive, and regenerative purposes. These compounds help ward off unfriendly pests, attract friendly herbivores and insects, and even help the plant heal from infection and physical injury. There are over 3,000 identified varieties of aromatic compounds, each with its own unique and functional chemical constituents that provide different aromas and benefits to the plants. From the petals of a flower, to the leaves of a plant, the rind of a fruit, or the resin of a tree, these volatile aromatic compounds are all around us. Distilled directly from their plant sources, essential oils are multifaceted agents that have seemingly endless applications to our health and can be used aromatically, topically, or internally. Ensuring the maximum potency and beneficial properties of an essential oil are the result of maintaining the delicate ratio of aromatic constituents found in that essential oil, all of which can vary depending on the time of day or part of the plant which is harvested, time of year or life cycle when harvested, the geographic location, and whether where the plant was grown, or the method and even the duration of distillation. For that reason, it is vital that essential oils come from a trusted source committed to not only producing unadulterated essential oils, but to adhering to the strictest production protocols. There are no wasted efforts in nature. Neither should there be in the health care you provide for yourself and those you love.
All right, guys. So beautiful video. Let's kind of tie that up just really quickly. So essential oils, they're naturally occurring. Okay, obviously they're grown. Mother Earth grows them. They're volatile. That means that in chemistry world, they react immediately when they are like hit by the air. Oxygen hits them and they react immediately. That's what a volatile compound means. And they're also aromatic. So they're very tiny little molecules. They diffuse all in the air. And so they're aromatic. We can breathe them in. Okay. So essential oils, they're found in the seeds, the barks, the stem, the root, the flowers, the rind of a plant. They're in almost every aspect of a plant. As a matter of fact, some plants we actually get up to 3 essential oils from just one plant. So that's pretty neat. What are essential oils to the plant? Well, they're actually the plant's protective mechanism. Okay, so they protect the plant against environmental threats. They also provide beneficial properties. They can attract beneficial birds and bugs and bees, but they can also repel certain things that might actually cause them harm. They also are used by the plant to help heal them. For example, when we cut into the bark of like a boxwella tree to get our frankincense, the actual resin that comes out is the plant's protective mechanism to heal that part that's been damaged. Okay, essential oils have been used for over 5,000 years. They've been documented in Chinese medicine for over 5,000 years by practitioners. They were found in Egyptian tombs by the pharaohs. They've been discussed hundreds of times in the Bible. They were used to help heal soldiers during World War II, and we still continue to use them today. They're highly concentrated when distilled for their purity, potency, and efficacy. Now, when I say highly concentrated, for some of you might be gardeners. Maybe you've grown a peppermint plant or an oregano plant on your patio or a basil plant. An essential oil, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equal to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you want to think about essential oils being 50 to 70 times more powerful than their herb counterpart. Okay, so why use essential oils? You know, they smell great, but there's also a lot of other medicinal purposes for them. Essential oils can penetrate the cell membrane of both bacteria and viruses. Okay, our modern day science really has done a good job at creating antibacterial agents because the bacteria reside on the outside of the cell. But viruses go inside the cell and they kind of replicate the cell's internal structure, and so they're very hard to kill. Well, essential oils are very small, they're lipid soluble, and they're very small molecular size, so they can actually get inside the cell membrane of both bacteria and viruses. Essential oils can also pass the blood-brain barrier. Specifically sesquiterpenes, which is a specific type of chemical found in some of the essential oils like frankincense. It's reasonable to assume then if the sesquiterpenes can pass the blood-brain barrier, so can the monoterpenes because they're a smaller, structurally smaller size. So it's reasonable to assume that they can pass the blood-brain barrier as well. Why is this important? Well, we have a lot of disease processes right now in medicine that we're having a hard time dealing with. Traumatic brain injury, Parkinson's, seizures, Alzheimer's, ADHD, autism. There's a lot of things that are going on in the brain that we're really having a hard time with medications that we're currently using. And another really big important reason as to why you would use essential oils is that there's no side effects of essential oils. They're natural. Body knows how to deal with that. The chemical counterpart or component of medications, the additives and the fillers, that's what our body reacts to when we take a medicine. That's why we have allergic reactions to things. And I'm going to repeat this twice because I want you to really take note. Harvard School of Public Medicine, or Public Health, reported that nearly 2 million hospitalizations and 128,000 deaths occur every year due to properly prescribed medication. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Harvard School of Public Health reported that nearly 2 million hospitalizations and 128,000 deaths occur every year from properly prescribed medications. Okay, so if I wanted to choose something that would help my family, I would go to an essential oil first rather than choosing an over-the-counter medication, possibly even a prescribed medication, to see if the health is improved before I would go to the chemical counterpart. And if you remember correctly at the beginning of my introduction, I am a family nurse practitioner. I am licensed in the state of Nevada. I have license to prescribe every drug, narcotics, regular medications, antibiotics. I can prescribe anything for my family, and I choose essential oils first. Okay, so how to use essential oils? There's 3 ways. We can use them aromatically, we can use them topically, and we can use them internally. And let's go over each one of those very quickly. So aromatically, it would be a method of diffusion or inhalation. There's a very neat system. Our nerves, our smell, our sense of smell is really awesome. Something registers inside our nose. We breathe it in, right? Goes to our olfactory bulb, and then it goes to the limbic system inside our brain. Now, our limbic system is connected to our emotional center, our memory center, our mood center. Very interesting research that's going on right now about how essential oils can help alter our mood. Think about how if you smell something, it's connected directly to maybe a memory that you might have, and that's why it's all in the same center in our brain. Essential oils can help purify the air. They can help fight airborne diseases and germs. So if you diffuse certain essential oils, it can help protect the environment that you live in. It can help respiratory function. If you diffuse certain essential oils, it can help open up your airway to improve breathing. And it can also, if you diffuse certain essential oils at night, it can help promote restful sleep. Using essential oils topically, when applied to the skin, it enters the bloodstream within 30 seconds. You can use essential oils for massage. You can use essential oils topically for skin ailments like burns, cuts, scrapes, wounds, sores, anything, a bug bite. You can apply them directly onto that area. You can also use essential oils topically around the area of concern. If you have a headache, you can put essential oils right here on the temples. It really helps get directly to where you need it to go. If you have neck pain, you can put it directly on the neck. If you have lower back pain, you can put some essential oils directly on the lower back, those type of things. Now, you can apply some essential oils neat, which means that there's no dilution required. And some essential oils you do need to dilute because with a carrier oil, because they're considered warm. They actually feel hot to the touch. They don't actually burn the skin, but they do feel very uncomfortable. And so if you applied them with a carrier oil, it would help with the that sensation. There's also, you always want to dilute with very small and very old, okay? So there's dilutional charts available online for you to see what the ratio of oil versus carrier oil would be for your child. But typically for an adult, you'd want to start with 1 to 2 drops of essential oils for a teaspoon of carrier oil. And when I say carrier oil, if you're not familiar with this yet, that would be coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, things like that. That would be your carrier oil. Now, internally, I'm going to speak specifically only about doTERRA essential oils because that's what I trust for my family. I know how they're tested, and I know that they're safe to take internally. There will be a supplementation fact box on each oil that's safe to take internally. If it doesn't have that supplement box on it, it is not safe to take orally. But when you can take an essential oil orally, why would you take it? Well, you would take it to help boost your immunity. You would help support any ailment that might be from what I consider tip to tail. You could use it on scratchy, sore throats. There's a lot of reasons why you could take essential oils internally. They can also be used for cooking and dietary supplements. You can just add simply a drop of essential oil into your water and drink it, like I do with lemon, or you can put it in a capsule form and swallow it if you don't like the taste of the essential oils. Okay, so those are the 3 ways to use essential oils. Now let's move on and talk about why doTERRA specifically. First of all, doTERRA was founded in 2008. They have their corporate office in Pleasant Grove, Utah. They were founded by 7 people. They're still considered the founding executives. Currently, they sell, they have $1.5 billion in annual sales, and they are debt-free. I think that is phenomenal about the program. Now, 2 very important things about doTERRA that make them I think one of the leaders in essential oil companies. Number 1, they're the only company right now that are have such a high rigorous testing protocol. It's called CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And what that means is that they have 11 protocols, I believe, rigorously tested for purity and potency. Their certified pure therapeutic grade protocol starts at the very beginning before the plant is even grown. So this starts at the farmers. This starts in the beginning of the growing process. Then it moves on to a very demanding distillation process, and then of course testing inside the lab. Okay, and so this means that the essential oils with the certified pure therapeutic grade stamp on it means that they're free from fillers, artificial ingredients, and free from harmful contaminants. Now, the other thing that makes doTERRA so special, in my opinion, is their co-impact sourcing, which let me show you a video that'll kind of help explain it a little bit more than I can, and then I'll come back and kind of go over, let's see, make sure this is the right video. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. This is an 8-minute video, so I'm going to show this to you, and this kind of epitomizes the
These women go out every single morning as they collect the wintergreen leaves, and they fill these baskets full, and they carry them all the way down the mountainside, oftentimes having to stop along the way to take a break. And yet they do this every single day to be able to provide for their family. But yet when you look at these mountain regions, they are so far removed from any city. What other opportunity do they have to truly be able to provide for their family? They don't. And now we come in with an opportunity that provides them with the means they need to create that income.
रमाइलो लाग्छ सक्नुहुन्छ रमाइलो लाग्छ 1-2 पैसा आउँछ बच्चा-बच्चीले पढाउनु पर्यो यता कपी कलम किन्नु पर्यो यो 5 बजे हिँड्दाखेरि हामी कहिले 12 बजे पुग्छु कहिले 1 बजे त्यो पैसा त अब भुराले कापी ल्याउ भन्दा कलम किन्नु भन्दा पढाउँदा अब कहिले
They get up in the morning before the kids are awake and are able to provide for their family, whether that be through school supplies, whether it be food for the family. They're able to work as much as they want because of our demand for wintergreen. Sky's the limit.
This new wintergreen essential oil is exciting for a lot of different reasons, one of which is a new species for doTERRA, Gaultheria fragrantissima. The aroma is very different than what we are accustomed to with wintergreen essential oil, while at the same time we maintain all of the wonderful chemistry and benefits. One of the challenges with wintergreen essential oil is to make sure that the oil is not synthetic. And while doTERRA does a tremendous amount of testing that has become more and more sophisticated, we also have the advantage of working directly with the source. We're intimately involved from the very beginning all the way through the end process when we provide this beautiful essential oil.
Wintergreen is one of the lowest yield oils that there is, and that was a surprise to me actually. As we fill those stills up, you stomp and you mash that thing as tight as you can get it, and then we finally build the mound 4 feet higher than the top of the still and put the lid on and really pack it in there. And then it goes for 14 hours. It's an amazing process and a heck of a lot of work to get such a small amount of oil.
It's been about a year we started working in these villages. Most of their livelihood depends on cultivating these smaller terraces. But we found out a local resource called wintergreen, and we are so happy that doTERRA has come to partner with us in purchasing what they can produce. And that gives them extra resources to sustain their family in these villages.
In our desire to find the highest quality essential oils in the world, we turned to Nepal for their wintergreen source. We worked with 2 specific districts, the Dholaka district as well as the Longjun district. And you can imagine how our hearts broke as we learned the news of the earthquakes, knowing that these 2 areas were the heart of the earthquake and received the most damage.
You know, we were already working in Nepal. We'd been working on this co-impact sourcing relationship for the wintergreen for some time. We already had significant contacts on the ground, specifically with Vishnu, so valuable, and just his ability to get things done in Nepal that frankly others, even the government, sometimes struggle with. And then of course when the earthquake happened, we immediately decided we were going to send $100,000 out there for the immediate needs, which were tents and blankets and food as they were just going into their monsoon season. But then we got this thought almost as fast. Our wellness advocates are really generous in their thinking. Why don't we put it out to them and we'll put out an offer to match, you know, any donations that come that way, and so that's what we did. And in the end I think we came up with somewhere around $700,000 that we were able to help provide this relief in Nepal.
You imagine what it meant to these people who lost their homes, whose lives were completely devastated, to receive temporary shelter, to receive food, to receive those things to be able to help sustain them through this most difficult time. To actually be there and physically see that devastation, to see homes destroyed, to see family and children living under tents just trying to stay dry. It really changed my perspective. And as we were able to meet some of the people that we provided the temporary housing for, Tahawa was one that just amazed me. I think of myself in that situation and how I would have responded. I think I would have been devastated. yet she was so resilient. She was so happy and so grateful. She just kept giving us thanks for the home that she had. Even though it was a small home, she was so grateful.
Then to see the little shack, very small, with the goats where she had been sleeping, and as a way to stay out of the rains and so forth. Those are things you just don't forget. I think she was very representative of many of the people that we met in Nepal.
They're such a gracious people, and they truly are resilient. They truly are strong, and they will carry on, but they need help. And I'm so grateful that we are in a position to be able to provide some small means of help.
भएको पनि लग्यो नदेख्ने भगवानले। अहिले भगवान चाहिँ मेरै आँखा वरिपरि हजुरहरू ले चाहिँ मेरो भगवान रहेछ, उहाँहरू भगवान उहाँ रहेछ भन्ने अनुभव चाहिँ भयो।
So, a little teary-eyed now. One thing about the co-impact sourcing that wasn't really mentioned in this video is the charitable arm of doTERRA called Healing Hands Foundation. And you heard David Sterling talking a little bit about the wellness advocates donating to that, but he didn't really explain the fact that doTERRA has a charitable entity called Healing Hands Foundation. And so you can donate to that Healing Hands Foundation with every order that you place, but also just specifically either buying the Rose Lotion or the Hope Essential Oil Blend. Both of those complete amounts that you spend on both of those products go directly to the Healing Hands Foundation. And the Healing Hands Foundation kind of has two different entities with it. It has the corporate side, which they partner with other nonprofit large entities to help provide resources and even donations to those already established companies. The first one would be Day for Girls, in which there are, and I'm going to say this to every woman that's watching this video, there are third world countries out there where women are using leaves and different products out in nature because they don't have sanitary pads during their monthly cycle. And so they either have to just kind of makeshift items, or they are literally shunned to the outside of the village, what appear to be small huts, like dog houses, and they just have to sit there until their cycle is complete. They're actually considered dirty during that process. Maybe even some old wives' tales, I call them wives' tales, old village suspicions that maybe the demons are coming out. There's some very awful things that these women have to go through, these young girls have to go through. Day for Girls actually provides a kit for them filled with sanitary napkins that are washable and reusable. And it's just a beautiful organization. So young girls and females can function during their monthly cycles without having to be shunned for it. They can still continue through school and work and provide for their family, just like we kind of take for granted every day. doTERRA also pairs or partners with what's called Operation Underground Railroad. It's an organization created by ex-military, usually Navy SEALs, the Rangers, things like that, that are highly operatively trained military professionals, ex-military professionals that help break up sex trafficking rings. They still exist, guys. This isn't something that's just in horror movies. Young children and young women, boys and girls, are sold every day into sex trafficking rings across the world. And Operation Underground Railroad, if you're not familiar with it, you can Google it and look at what they're doing. They're just doing profound things that kind of break through the red tape of what normal law enforcement agencies have to go through. So doTERRA partners with that. Their Healing Hands Foundation and Operation Underground are now partnered. And there's also opportunities for individual wellness advocates that are doing nonprofit things that you can ask for a grant, so you can start doing that organization with the help of Healing Hands. So wonderful opportunities through doTERRA. It makes them, I believe, a step above every other essential oil company out there with their CPTG certified pure testing protocols, their co-impact sourcing, where they're partnered right now with over 40 countries, 20 which are developing to get the best essential oils possible for us, but also providing resources for these developing countries that they desperately need. They cultivate partnerships with the artisans, the small-scale growers, and the distillers around the world. So we make sure that we get essential oils that are grown from the right soil, the right environment, the right wind, temperatures, so we get the best possible essential oils for our health and wellness. And also the countries, the villages, the communities, like we saw in Nepal for the wintergreen, are also getting some amazing on-time payments, stable pricing, a trustworthy long-term buyer rather than having to worry about the middleman and not getting paid on time. doTERRA provides a year-long sustainable income, even though the crops might only drop, 2 or 3 times a year. So that's just profound. Our essential oils from doTERRA come everywhere from our Northwest U.S. states in Washington with peppermint, to Hawaii, getting our sandalwood, to eucalyptus for our eucalyptus comes from Australia. Lemon and bergamot come from Italy. We get essential oils from, like I said, over 40 different countries. And it's just an amazing, amazing thing to see the higher quality essential oils when they are grown in the right environment. Okay, so that's why doTERRA is so amazing. So we've talked about what are essential oils. We've talked about why so special about doTERRA. There are hundreds of essential oil blends and types. We're not going to go through those essential oils tonight. That's not what this webinar is about. This webinar is about the business opportunity. I do have other webinars coming up, classes, Facebook Live, not Facebook Live, and Facebook classes that go over specific essential oils. Tonight is not about that. I want to skip to the business side because that's why you guys are here. So there's 3 main ways to purchase doTERRA essential oils. A, you can buy them retail. Every wellness advocate, and when you become a wellness advocate, you get your own retail website. That's where you can just send them the link to. You can go directly and buy full retail price, have it shipped directly to you. One of the beauties about being a wellness advocate with doTERRA is that I don't have to have my own personal supply. I can just recommend people going to that website and buying it directly. But the other alternative with doTERRA is to have a wholesale membership. And what that means is that annually you pay a fee to have a wholesale membership. The first enrollment fee is $35, and then every year after that, on your anniversary, it'll be a $25 charge, and in return, doTERRA will send you a free bottle of 15 milliliter peppermint. Now, with tax, peppermint is $20.50 wholesale, because when you renew, you're getting the wholesale prices, so that's what matters. But with tax, it's going to run you $22-ish, $23. So in essence, you're buying a bottle of peppermint every year to re-up your annual membership. And during that membership, you get 25% off the retail price of every product available. There's no minimum to order. There's no maximum. There's no monthly requirements. If you only ordered once during your entire membership program, there's no penalty for that. So I think it's kind of like equating our membership to a Sam's or a Costco account. Okay. You can also, if you're not yet a doTERRA wholesale customer or wellness advocate yet, you can enroll with an enrollment kit. The enrollment kit includes the $35 membership fee, so that's not in addition to whatever the price of the enrollment kit includes the wholesale membership. It starts out with a Family Essentials kit, which carries the top 10 essential oils that I think every home should have in their medicine cabinet. The essential oil kit, the Family Essential Kit, is $150 plus tax and shipping. That gets you started. That gets your annual membership, and now you have 25% off every other order that you start. There are other essential oil kits that you can get started in, depending on what your budget is, what your needs are, what your family's needs are. There's all the way up to a kit. It's called the Every Oil Kit, which is kind of a dream of mine to get, and the Diamond Kit. So there's a lot of options for a lot of different budgets to get started. From the business aspect of doTERRA, I personally believe that either way can get you into the door to start building your own doTERRA business. If you have not yet enrolled, though, I'd really like to talk to you. Having that basic foundation of an enrollment kit really gives you the opportunity to start experiencing essential oils. But if you're already experiencing essential oils, let's say you're already a wholesale customer, and now you're interested in becoming a wellness advocate, and you want to know all about the business, right? So let's move on to that aspect of it. There's 3 different types of pathways that you can take with doTERRA. The first one is becoming a user. Most of us are already users. I say us, I'm not included in this, but most of you, if you're watching this and you're already a wholesale customer, you're a user, right? You use this naturally, essential oil that are available to help manage your health of your family, yourself, maybe improve your health. You're basing your oil purchases and your uses on your own personal problems, right? And health challenges. So that's a user. A share, which is the second type of path that you can take in doTERRA, means that you are naturally inclined to share with others. You like to talk about essential oils. You like to hear other people saying that they have a problem and say, hey, why don't you try this? And you are really interested in maybe the free products, sharing the essential oils with other people. The third pathway that you can take with doTERRA is a builder. And that's what I am. I am trying to build a doTERRA business. And I hope being on this webinar means that this is something that you might be interested in too. So you have a desire to work from home. You want to introduce and educate others on doTERRA products. You want to achieve leadership ranks, and you want to supplement or replace your income. Okay, so I'm going to load another video. This is really awesome. That really helps show kind of the pathway and getting started in doTERRA. This is a 5-minute video, so hold on just a minute and I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Robin, and my husband is Leland. We are Blue Diamonds in doTERRA, and we have 5 beautiful children, and we are the Joneses. Obviously, we have not always been in doTERRA and working in doTERRA. My sister Cherie Burton, a common phrase that she uses, your mess is your message. And I definitely have a message to share in doTERRA, and it stems from the mess that happened in my family. An inner conviction came out of really wanting to search and find something that was going to help my family. A few short years later, I was introduced to doTERRA, but didn't fully grasp the emotional properties of it until actually about 2 years later, when I had attended a convention in 2010. As I was sitting there and I was looking at all the people around me, I noticed that they were no different than me. They had no more education than me. They were other stay-at-home moms and with no prior sales experience, just like myself. And I then had that piece click of, I have something to bring to this. I can share my message.
And she's telling me, and she's like, what if? What if we did this as a business? Like, we just do it, like, for a year, we commit. And I remember thinking, all right, you can do anything for a year. It's a year. So it's like, okay, we'll do it. And our life got out of balance.
We were at a place where there were a lot of things going on, and there were a lot of reasons why I shouldn't have done it. A lot of really great excuses to not do it. And I knew that things couldn't be perfect before you just took that leap and moved forward. I didn't know how it was all going to play out. I didn't know how I was going to make this work. All that I knew was I have a powerful message with these oils, that I can show up to somebody and I can give them a gift that nobody else could give them, that I have a solution for them that they can't get anywhere else. And if I don't share it with them, who will? So I have to step up.
As doTERRA was taking off, as Robin was sharing the oils, as more and more people are having interest, having questions, as she's getting pulled in more and more directions, I realize that there is a need. And then I quit my job. And then I stepped in full time. So while my kids are at school, I'm dedicated to doTERRA. When my kids get off the bus or when we pick them up from school, I'm a dad.
I'm so glad I made that choice. I'm so glad that I decided that I wanted more than where I was at. And now I get to be with my family as much as I want to. My husband is home and we're a partnership, a full partnership. And I love that I have learned so much about myself. I have a lot more skills than I ever knew I had. I am grateful also that my husband also committed to do this with me.
I hope that through my experience, it can teach others or allow others to keep an open mind. That they can keep an open mind when maybe they don't have the vision to see where this could take them.
So the stars will never just align for you to do this. There will never be a perfect time. There was no perfect time. There never will be a perfect time. It continues to not be a perfect time. We are definitely not perfect. Our family isn't perfect. We are continuing to learn as we go. And because we stepped into what was uncomfortable and we put a lot of things on hold and we made those sacrifices, we're reaping those benefits and we're continuing to receive those benefits. We now have a surplus of time and we can use that time any way we want to, and a lot of that is volunteering at the school. It's to be able to be with our kids whenever, and I'm so grateful that doTERRA's lifestyle has been able to create that for us. So we feel truly blessed, and honestly it would be unfair to keep this to ourselves, because what we have created, our dreams have come true. And that is a real possibility for you. This can happen. This can be your reality.
This is why we share doTERRA, to give you that possibility. And so enough with the excuses, enough with all these beautiful distractions. You need to put them on hold and step into action.
Yeah, step into action. Right now.
Like now. Why are you still there?
Like, go away.
So I love that message, that your mess is your message. Really, the key to that is just finding what you think is important, what you find of value, and incorporating the natural solutions that essential oils offers and sharing that with others. There's not going to be this perfect invitation that's going to, greet you at the door. You're just, life is messy, and it just never is going to feel like this perfect opportunity. It's really just like they said, what is a year of trying the business and seeing if it works for you? So let's talk about how to become a wellness advocate, how to start down that builder's pathway. The very first thing that you need to do is you obviously need to be a wellness advocate. Currently, right now, if you are a wholesale customer, let's say that you have enrolled with doTERRA. Right now, you're ordering on a monthly basis, but you are classified as a wholesale customer. You need to go into your back office and click the button that says, I want to become a wellness advocate. Now, when you do that, what is going to be asked of you is for your Social Security number. And why is that necessary? Well, when you start making a commission, doTERRA is going to cut you a 1099 check. And so they're going to need to know your Social Security or your tax ID number so they can in turn give you that 1099. Now, let's say that right now you're not even a doTERRA wholesale customer. You haven't even bought into the program yet. Well, you'll need to do that first. And so when you enroll, you will choose the Wellness Advocate option. And that way, when you enter in all your data, including your address and who you are and your email, you will also enter in your Social Security number so you can get started. Now, we talked about before, if you're not enrolled at all, you will want to have that wholesale membership account, right? So you either have to sign on with a $35 wholesale membership or start with an enrollment kit, and I can help you with either one of those. In the beginning, I said you could contact me, theoilist1@gmail.com. Please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about this opportunity if you're interested in how to get started. So theoilest1@gmail.com. If this video, though, has been shared by somebody else, please reach out to them. Either way, it will show you how to get started with essential oils. So you want to order the products and you want to set up your loyalty rewards program. And what that is a monthly, I like to call it a frequent flyer program, where you are on an auto shipment a month. You select the day. You want it to be before the 15th of the month so you can get the free product of the month. But you set up your loyalty rewards program. In order to earn a commission with doTERRA, you must have a 100 PV order ready to auto ship every month. When doTERRA cuts commission checks, they actually look into your back office and make sure that you actually have that set up for 100 PV or more. And for those of you that are new to PV, PV means point value. For every essential oil and essential oil blend, PV is 1 PV per $1. It's an equal for equal. Everything else has a little bit of a different ratio depending on what kind of a product it is. So you want to be very careful about making sure that it's the PV of $100 or more, not the dollar amount. Okay, very important to pay attention to. And then once you get that set up, it's really just about sharing the oils and enrolling new people under you. So how do you share essential oils? Well, I share essential oils in multiple ways. I do classes in my home. I do Facebook presentations. I do Facebook Lives. I do online webinars like I'm doing right now. I give out samples. There's a lot of ways to talk about essential oils with people. It's however you feel comfortable. It's however you feel you have the time to do. And then beyond that, you just need to find other possible builders like yourself, like myself, that are enthusiastic about sharing the essential oils with others. And that's how to build a team. There's some finites about how to structure your team. We can talk about that later. What's really important right now when you get started is getting out and talking about essential oils with other people, going through the presentation, having classes in your home, or just doing one-on-ones where you're going through the who, the what, the why, the how of essential oils in doTERRA and getting it out there. Okay. Now, what's really exciting about doTERRA, it has one of the best compensation plans for any network marketing company that exists right now, which I think is really exciting. And I want to share with you, and you can Google right now if you feel like it or after the webinar, annual average earnings of doTERRA ranks. And you can see these numbers in these grids that are quite exciting. We have different ranks within doTERRA. When you get started, as you increase your volume, you increase your rank. And so the first real achievable rank that really shows that you're in a leadership position and you've got some team and you've got some motivation is the silver. On average annual income. Now I'm going to give you an FTC required information right now that everybody's ability to earn is going to be different based on how much you actually enroll, the amount of time you spend. No income is ever guaranteed, especially when it comes to owning your own network marketing business. But on average, silvers make $25,500 a year. Golds make $56,000 a year. Platinums make $101,000 a year. Diamonds make $193,000 a year. Blue diamonds can make up to $438,000 a year, and presidential diamonds can make $1,282,000 a year. So this was the average earnings, I believe, in 2016. There's also options and grids for you to look at when it comes to the percentages of people in those ranks that are wellness advocates and that are actively doing it. I would invite you to say that you are going to create whatever system that you want to create, and you are going to be the determination of your success, okay? But let's doTERRA. The first way is your Fast Start bonus, and this is for new enrollees that you sign up under you. Every new enrollee purchase, you get 20% of whatever they purchase within the first 60 days of their enrollment. If you, there is other tiers of that Fast Start bonus. Let's say you enroll someone and then they also enroll someone. They would get 20% of whatever that person orders in the first 60 days, and you would get 10%. And then think one more chain down. If that person enrolls someone, then they would get 20%. The person that enrolled them will get 10%, and you would get 5% of what that person orders within the first 60 days. So that's called the Fast Start bonus. It's a great way to get started. It's a great way to get some money generated, so you can start paying for your essential oils, getting up on the supplies, reimbursing you, those type of things. There's also what's called the Power of 3 bonus. The Power of 3 bonus is a tiered structure of how you organize your team. The first 3 would be the first 3 people you enroll. So imagine yourself right here, and then you'd have 3 people here, here, and here. Each one of those people order 100 PV or more, and the entire 4 of you together combined order at least 600 organizational volume, or OV, you would get a $50 bonus. If you duplicate that and the 3 people under you enroll 3 people and they all order the same, then you would get a $250 bonus. And if those 3 people replicate that process again, and everyone is ordering 100 PV or more, total organizational volume, there is a specific amount that needs to be obtained, you would get a $1,500 monthly bonus. And that's paid monthly every month that you qualify for that. It doesn't really matter how many people or how many months that you qualify for that. You get it every month if you qualify, okay? Then there's the unilevel bonus. And the unilevel structure is really the meat and potatoes of doTERRA Wellness Advocates. The numbers that I had quoted earlier, from the diamond making $193,000 a year to the blue diamond at $438,000 to the presidential diamond at $1.2 million. That's really coming from the unilevel commission plan, and it's a residual income. It pays up to 7 levels deep, and it pays up to 7% of the 7th structure in what the team orders monthly. Okay, so doTERRA decided to flip this compensation plan a little bit more than other multi-level marketing companies. Most multi-level marketing companies pay the highest percentage at the top of the tier, where you have the less people. And as you move down the tier, they pay the less amount of percentage, and you are paid only 1% or 2%. Well, doTERRA decided that that was just not really a long-term sustainable way of making a living, and so they flipped that on the complete opposite way. And they said that we're going to pay you only 1% of your top structure, but as it moves down to your 4th, 5th, 6th, down to your 7th tier structure, you're going to get paid 7% of that lowest tier. Now, you do have to hit specific ranks in order to get that, but this is how you specifically will get kind of, like I said, the meat and potatoes of your commission plan. So there's 3 different types of investment, or 3 different levels of investment is kind of what I like to call it. The very first is you just want to make extra spending money. You want $300 to $600 a month. So you need to look at either elite or premier ranking. Okay, you're putting in very part-time hours, and you're slowly building your team. So that would just be an extra spending money. Well, let's say you want to supplement your income. You need maybe $600 or $5,000 a month. It really depends on what your monthly income is that you're looking at replacing. Then you would look at the requirements to become a premier or gold. And we can walk through each one of those as you get closer to those ranks. There's different ways to organize your team and different ways to hit these type of ranks. Well, let's say you want to replace and multiply your income. Maybe you need to make $5,000 a month. Maybe you need to make $112,000 a month. It really depends on where you're at right now financially and what you would really like to see your goals at. Well, then you need to look at somewhere between gold and presidential diamond. And I know that that's a really huge, like, broad mindset, but it's really kind of what your personal goals would be as to why you would want to become a doTERRA advocate in the first place. I personally want to completely replace my income, and I say that very boldly and very strongly. I've been doing this business now for about 6 months. I want to warn you all that it is, and I say warn, okay, this is a very slow growing process. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There is not going to be some oil fairy that shows up and does all the work for you. Creating a residual income for yourself and your family is completely different than going and working every day and getting paid a dollar amount per hour that you work. It's a totally different mindset. You're going to put a lot of work in the beginning and not really get paid anything. But once you build your team and it slowly starts to grow, the team starts to kind of do the work for you. And that's why it's considered a residual income. You're always going to work. Okay, the question is, do you want to work from home? Do you want to work anywhere in the country that you want to work? Do you want to work anywhere in the world that has Wi-Fi? And how do you want to get paid to do it? Do you want to get paid based on whether or not you actually go to work or not? Or do you want to get paid when you want to work and what your personal schedule is? Would you want to be a stay-at-home mom and raise your family? Would you like to bring your husband home or your significant other home so you both can help raise your family? Do you want to travel the world with your spouse? That's my goal. I want to completely replace my income so I don't have to work. And I want to travel the world. I have very high expectations. And instead of planning, I'm 42. I'm being very open and honest about my age and requirement here. I'm 42. If I were to go through the normal model, I would accept the fact that I'm going to be working for the next 25 years doing hourly work, paycheck to paycheck, so I can move forward. I live a very comfortable lifestyle. I make a really good living, but I don't want to work any more dollar for hour, okay? I want to build a residual income so I can take vacations, I can live very comfortably, I can travel around, and I can work wherever I want to. In order to do that, I am putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort into my doTERRA business right now. But it's totally doable. I meet women every day. I talk to my mentors every day that are doing this. They're accomplishing those type of dreams. So why network marketing with doTERRA? And we're about to wrap this up. First of all, it's a debt-free company. Second, the growth rate in the last 9 years that doTERRA has been around has surpassed Apple. It is a very, very solid company that you would be putting your time and investment into. Very low startup costs. We talked about the fact that you could easily start up for $35 if that was where your budget was right now. I would say $150 would probably be a better budget to consider, so you can actually start with a good foundation of essential oils when you start your business. And then monthly, you will have a $100 requirement in order to, well, 100 PV, which depending on how you place your order, it might be 120, 125 with tax and shipping. Monthly. That is a requirement that you have to have coming out of your doTERRA auto ship order every month in order to get a commission check. But in the reality of it, if you compare it to most businesses and how much money other people pay with startup businesses, this is a very, very low investment and low startup cost. The average retention rate for doTERRA customers is 65%. Actually, in some markets, it's up to 72%. The industry average is about 8% when it comes to network marketing. And what that means for you is that your customers will continue to order. Not all of them. I don't have a 100% order rate. I try to encourage it, but everyone has their own financial needs and issues. Trends right now, everyone is looking for a natural solution, whether or not you're talking about non-GMO, whether or not you're talking about organic, whether or not you're talking about farm to table, whether or not you're talking about people being upset with healthcare today and not getting what they think they need out of it. The trends right now are showing a growing market demand for essential oils and natural solutions. So it's a great business opportunity and investment based on the trends of the current market. And it's a niche-free market, which means that all ages, male and female, personal to household, yoga instructors to dentists to doctors, every different market can use essential oils. It depends on how you just want to pitch it, right? Or who you want to present it to. You have day spas, you have doctors that are now diffusing it. Hospitals are using it inside their wards to kind of calm patients down a little bit. There's a lot of research out there right now that essential oils can be used in multiple different environments. And so it's really what kind of a niche that you want to focus on. And it's a proven successful model. Okay. So I invite you to get started with essential oils for you and your family's needs. If you enroll and you set up your LRP for next month, I will send you a free Essential Life book. It's a fabulous, fabulous book that I use every day when it comes to helping me figure out the right things to do for my family. It's a beautiful 450 plus page book that gives you recipes, that tells you how to use each essential oil, how to use each blend, what type of problems that you might be using each essential oil. And it's absolutely a beautiful book. This will come to you as a gift from me if you join Team Oilist with either under me or under one of the wellness advocates in my downline. You have unlimited network support from me and my upline. I'll plug you into several Facebook pages to help give a lot of support for not only personal use but business use. And then just get started. What are you waiting for, right? Like the video said. Your mess is your message. If you have issues that you're dealing with, they're going to be there no matter what opportunities you decide to jump in on. One more video before we wrap this up. This is by James Bybee. I absolutely love this gentleman. It's a 7-minute video, and then we will be done.
If you are a fan or ever were a fan or know of Chris Farley, you probably heard his skit about being a motivational speaker, living down by the van down by the river. I don't have quite the girth that he does, but it's just something that, rings true to my life, the life of my family for a period of time. So we discovered essential oils when we were living in a van down by the river. And we lived in, well, it wasn't quite a van, but it was close. So we got, a little trailer that's like basically 3 pieces that kind of go like this. Okay, so basically you got these roads that do like a figure 8 through the park. It was an old RV park, all right? And it was in a thicket. All trees, everything. This guy bought a big piece of land. There's a little stream, a little river that goes back here, so it's a van down by the river, and that's what it felt like. It was cramped, tiny little place that we lived in, but we made do. So somebody then sends me a little brown bottle of, hold on. Hold them out of the way. A little brown bottle of oil, essential oil from plants. We talked about that. If you haven't seen these, you soon will. Essential oil changes people's lives. Somebody calls us, sends it to us. I don't really know what it is. Put it in my mouth, about knocks me on the floor. Then we get a follow-up from the individual who happens to be my sister-in-law, a woman named Natalie Goddard. She's an amazing person. She says, essential oils, they will change your life. They're amazing, they're awesome. And we were like, uh-huh. Now, we were a little bit open because we used herbs. She said, look, you really need to look at this. And we said, no. Try this again. And we said, no. She tried us again and we said, no. Thick skulls, man. And, you know, she was also telling us, over time as we're talking that, hey, you know what's cool is that they do change lives. We can introduce them to people. The product really works. But guess what? You can, if you want, you can change people's lives financially because there's the ability to create an income with it. And we thought, oh no, not one of those. And of course, fear takes over, which fear never does anything good. Product right there, works great, it's awesome. Opportunity, as we had been looking, we're living in a van down by the river. Meanwhile, essential oils are knocking on our door. Hello, hello, hello. And we're saying, no, 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 it can't be that. We start having these experiences with being able to change and deal with the health of our children much easier than we ever were with herbs. So we got excited. Well, I did. My wife didn't. She couldn't get over the whole income part of it. But for me, I got excited because now I started to see that this could be an income piece. But I had to fail a little bit first to figure this out. I decide I'm going to go for it. So I, after 3 no's, say yes to my sister-in-law. Okay? And she, in the meantime, is having great success as well. So she's trying to help me have success. She says you need to have an event where you can educate people about essential oils. I'm going to send an expert out to you. I'm like, great. I had no idea who it was. Turns out it was this really world-renowned expert that travels the world on essential oils. A little hotel room. I go all over the place. And I put out flyers. I go into businesses. I talk to holistic people. Everyone I meet, I talk to them about it, invite them. Now, again, I didn't probably invite the people I really should have invited were the people that I had direct connections to and that I knew because, what? Fear. Fear cropped in, right? But I went out and told everyone else. And I knew hundreds of people were going to show up. We went 7 o'clock. We get ready, 7 o'clock. No one's showing up yet. No one's ever on time. 7:15. People are getting home from work, eating dinner. They'll be here. 7:25. Nobody. That was the first experience that I had in trying to help people become educated about essential oils. I made it my passion after that, though. I decided not to quit. I knew I could fail, but still succeed. And people I knew who succeed fail a lot before they succeed. So I didn't quit. And eventually my wife had her own stories about the essential oils, her own experiences that led her to start telling everybody about essential oils. And instead of doing a hotel room and instead of bringing in an expert, at least not a Dr. Hill, okay? We opened up our home, our van down by the river. Remember, this is not a pretty place. This is the kind of place that when people drove up in their cars and looked into the entrance right here, they went, am I going to come out of there? I mean, this is a scary place. Not the best part of town and that sort of thing, but we invited people anyway. We had executives from big companies in Silicon Valley, their wives and people come, and they came. So we had 15 or 16 people come to that. And then my sister-in-law came out because we didn't kind of really totally know what we were doing and taught that class. And those people in that room, every one of them wanted those products in their life and in their house. What changed? My passion was just getting bigger. I was enlisting in a mission, and I really wanted and knew that they should have these essential oils in their lives and that it would empower them. And that's what I got excited about, and that's what we got excited about, and that's what they got excited about. The more people we helped get what they needed, what they wanted, the more we would be able to achieve and get to where we wanted, but we had to help others first. And so the more we focus on how to help others, because we notice in our business, because this is a business for us now, that if we ever lose sight of that, things don't go as well. As soon as we get back on track with helping others solve their problems and provide solutions for them, things change. So now, we don't live in that van down by the river anymore. We actually live on a mountain. We're pretty much on the top in a house, and it overlooks the ocean now. As far as we can see, the ocean. And we live surrounded by redwood trees and wildlife. There's a deer walking around. And all sorts of amazing things that we get to experience now and travel around helping other people. And we're no longer broke. And people we meet now are finding financial, physical, emotional and spiritual healing and empowerment. I don't know what else I could do or what else anyone else, that anyone, any other person could choose as a career that could do and provide the same thing. Whatever it is that you do, make sure you're enlisted in a mission and a cause that will empower others and change their lives, because that's what we did. Thanks.